To truly understand Star Wars, we must look beyond the spaceships and the lightsabers and examine the bedrock upon which the entire saga was built. Mythology. George Lucas did not invent his story out of whole cloth. He explicitly structured it around the work of mythologist Joseph Campbell, specifically the concept of the monomyth or the hero's journey. This is why the story resonates so deeply across cultures and generations. It is a modern retelling of an ancient, universal human experience. The journey of Luke Skywalker is the quintessential hero's journey. He is the protagonist who leaves the ordinary world of Tatooine, crosses the threshold into the unknown, endures trials, receives wisdom, and returns transformed. His story is a blueprint for the soul's quest for self-knowledge. The characters surrounding Luke are not merely supporting roles. They are powerful archetypes drawn from the collective unconscious. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are the classic mentors, the wise elders who initiate the hero into the mysteries. Like Merlin in Arthurian legend or the Zen master on the mountain, they represent the necessary sacrifice of the old guard to empower the new. They guide the hero towards self-mastery. Conversely, Darth Vader is the ultimate shadow figure, the inverted mirror of the hero. Campbell noted that the hero must confront the part of himself he fears becoming, and Vader embodies this terrifying potential. He is the cautionary tale of a hero who failed his journey. Even characters like Princess Leia serve the archetype of the goddess, offering hope and emotional grounding, while Han Solo is the rogue or shapeshifter, whose initial self-interest eventually yields to the greater cause. Star Wars is a lesson in the roles we play on the stage of spiritual evolution. At the center of this mythological universe is the Force, the core esoteric concept. It is described as an energy field that connects all life, a principle found in countless spiritual traditions across the globe. The Force is the Star Wars equivalent of Chai in Chinese philosophy, prana in Hindu and yogic systems, or the Akashic Record, a universal, living spiritual energy. The duality of the Force is the duality of the human spirit. The light side is the path of spiritual discipline, emphasizing balance, mindfulness, and harmony. The Jedi's training is not just physical, it is a mystical practice aimed at inner transformation. Echoing the teachings of Zen masters and Christian mystics, it requires detachment from the ego and a surrender to the greater cosmic flow. The dark side, however, is the corruption of this energy. It is fueled by fear, anger, and unchecked ego. It is the path of imbalance and attachment, the desire to seize and control the universal energy for purely selfish ends. This is where the story shifts from mythology into the realm of the occult. The dark side is not just a metaphor for evil. It is a direct incorporation of occult, witchcraft, and sorcery traditions. The Sith and their allies are practitioners of forbidden arts. Consider the Night Sisters of Dathomir. They are explicitly referred to as witches who use the dark side as a form of magic or sorcery. Their practices are textbook examples of the occult. They perform elaborate rituals, cast spells, and even engage in necromancy, such as when old Daka raises the dead to fight for her coven. Most chillingly, Mother Talzin uses a form of sympathetic magic, or voodoo, employing an effigy and a lock of Count Dooku's hair to inflict pain on him from light years away. This is a clear, deliberate inclusion of real-world arcane practices. The dark rituals extend to the highest levels of the Sith. The Sith Eternal on Exegol are a wicked cult whose mass chanting and focus on sacrifice, specifically the transfer of life force, align with cultic and ritualistic practices. Even the obscure Frangal cult on Bardotta, who worshipped a demonic deity, engaged in sacrificial tendencies to transfer the living force of their victims into a living orb. This is a clear ritualistic act of energy transfer, a quest for forbidden power through the corruption of life itself. Ultimately, the Force, when used for dark purposes, involves classic occult elements, telepathy, divination, levitation, and even a dark form of spiritism through the preservation of Sith spirits in holocrons. Star Wars, therefore, is far more than a simple space opera. It is a profound esoteric parable of the soul's journey. It presents us with a war not just for a galaxy, but for the very nature of spiritual power. On one side, we have the mythological quest for self-mastery and balance, embodied by the Jedi. On the other, we have the occult temptation of forbidden power and the unchecked ego, embodied by the Sith and the witches of Dathomir. The core conflict of Star Wars is the timeless battle between the light of spiritual discipline and the lure of the arcane.